Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Northgard. Specifically, we'll be looking at the recent Garm Clan of the Hounds DLC. You can find it on Steam for about $5 or so. And before we get into it, I have Idly here to weigh in on some of this, but I wanted to quickly show you the important information. This is what the particular clan is good at. And you can see here they've got a 2-star in difficulty to learn, 1-star in development, 3 stars in military. They are very strong once you get them up and running. Very little in the way of support. Off to the right-hand side, you've got some starting bonuses and important information. So this clan has no war chief, no access to military paths, and no military camps are available except for brawler arenas. It cannot be upgraded, and brawler arenas only give you a population of 1. So like if you want more than 1 person, you have to keep building these brawler arenas. And the way these arenas work, 2 civilian units enter the brawler arena. Only 1 emerges and becomes a brawler, a powerful unit worthy of becoming a berserker. So the brawler is just kind of like a stronger than usual military unit, and it will eventually evolve, if you want it to, into a specific type. We'll get into that in a little bit. So killed animals will leave behind souls. Brawlers, just the basic brawlers, can absorb them to gain military experience and then later evolve into berserkers. These souls will just go into a pool of souls that you can draw from. Okay, just keep that in the back of your mind. When brawlers collect the souls of dead animals, this souls resource will go into your pool. Okay, just remember that. So once you want to turn a brawler into a berserker, you will spend a soul to spawn one of 4 animals. There's like a wolf, there's a boar, there's a bear, and there's a fox, I think, if I remember correctly. And then you send that brawler back into the arena to fight the ghost form of that, or the soul form of that animal. And if that brawler wins, they turn into a berserker of that type. So if you sent the brawler in there to fight a wolf soul or whatever, they become a new wolf skin berserker. And they will level up individually and have their own military experience. So that's typically how this clan works. You start off, you have to send 2 workers into an arena to fight, and one will die. The other one emerges victorious as a brawler. You kill animals to get souls, and then you use those souls to spawn like wolf forms or animal forms in an arena to put those brawlers up against them so that they can turn into berserkers of that type. It took me a minute to like wrap my head around it. Now, the berserkers can also collect souls, but they don't go into your general resource pool. Rather, they just accumulate experience, military experience, and they get you a special resource of that type. So, for example, the wolf, when that wolf skin berserker collects souls, they will get food in addition to military experience. The boar, I believe, will grant the lore resource. So, in addition to military experience. So, depending on which berserker type you pick up souls with, you will get different resources. This is how this works. So, souls are another huge primary resource for this particular faction. And there are some fame bonuses here. When you get to 200, you got Bloodline. Military units gain 15% more military experience. Fallen berserker souls can be summoned in brawler arenas to grant 50% of their accumulated military experience to the unit defending them. When you get to 500, Strength of the Pack. Berserkers can now level up to 7. Each additional level makes them stronger. And then there's the relic, the Fledolf's Coat. I'm assuming the K is silent, but whatever. Berserkers can transform into their animal counterparts. While in their animal form, they gain cloaked and consume 75% less resources. When a berserker transforms back into their human form, enemy units in the zone are scared off for 1 second, and the berserker gains 15% attack power and defense for 4 seconds. So I will show you the tech tree once we start talking about everything. I'm going to go ahead and jump over now to our footage of our co-op play, and we'll weigh in on what we think. Okay, so Idly is here with us now, and the footage that you're watching is our recent comp stomp against the AI. So, Idly, what did you think of this particular faction? Did you enjoy it, not enjoy it?
I actually really, really, really liked this DLC. I really did. I enjoyed it, especially compared to the Lion and Owl, which I wasn't too fond of.
The Lion
This
and
one,
Owl,
mhm.
the Lion and Owl, sorry to interrupt, I
No, it's
think
fine.
is focused on that other, like, faction that completely changes the way you play Northgard. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, with the whole territory stuff. Like, it's a different, they're not Norse. They're like English or whatever it is, you know?
Mhm.
So,
Well,
anyway.
I really enjoyed this one. It was really fun to play, and I didn't have to worry about that mechanic that the Lion and Owl had. But this one isn't without its challenges. I played beforehand in my single player playthrough. I was really trying to balance economy and military, and I had only one brawler in each of my production buildings. Whereas in our multiplayer playthrough, this one, I was heavily trying to replace all my villagers with only brawlers just to see if it could be done, but it just gets way too expensive, and the balance is a real struggle because my military was pitiful doing that. Um, Granted, I've only ever played on Mega Baby Easy mode difficulty.
It's fine.
This was certainly a balancing act, so I can't even imagine playing any other difficulty or even in multiplayer PvP.
Hmm.
Um, Thankfully, it's not that complicated to wrap your head around, though. The mechanics are really interesting. I enjoy having military units go back and forth as their animal counterparts. I don't enjoy the micromanagement aspect of having to keep an eye on them at all times because it takes a lot of work and resources to have a formidable military, and you don't want to lose them. And at most, you'll only have 4 or 5 units, as opposed to most of the other clans that will have a decently large army size, maybe 10 to 20. So you can just go in there, and if you die, you die. Sometimes you can always replace them. But with these, you have to be extremely careful.
Hmm. That's one of the challenges I saw with this DLC is that you're limited. Like, you get few units, but they're powerful.
Hmm.
And the issue there is you don't want to expand too much because your 1 to 2 to 3 units in the middle game, early game, can't be everywhere. So the larger you get with this faction, the more you spread yourself thin. It's not like you can assign 5 footmen over here and 3 archers over. No, it's just you've got one powerful unit here, maybe one over here, and you're trying to maintain your defenses. And I think those fort tower thingies, those arrow tower, whatever they're called, I think they're super helpful with this faction to keep your defenses in line, to keep your territory defended while you go out and attack with these other faction or these other units, because it's necessary to. You have to go out and attack typically in order to get the souls that you need to get the souls, and then you upgrade them to your berserkers, and then get the different forms going, and then you can start collecting them for military experience and whatever resource you want to grab. But my strategy with this particular faction changed too. Typically, if there's a threat nearby, like there were, I think, 3 kobold lands near me, and any other faction, I would have said, you know what, you're dead. I'm tired of you attacking me. I'm tired of the threat of you attacking me. You're dead. I'm just going to go after you. Not with this faction. I farmed them for souls. I let them stay alive, and then when they built back up again, I went back over and just slaughter them. Slaughter them like animals, as Anakin would say. And I took all their souls, and that's how I was like getting more resources. And I love that, like, I had one of each soul type, or one of each berserker type. So there was the boar skin, the wolf skin, there was the fox skin, and the other one. I don't remember what the other one was.
Bear.
The bear, yeah.
Uh,
And one gives you food, one gives you wood, one gives you gold, and one gives you lore, depending on who you pick up the souls with. So it was really cool. Like, if I needed food it was the winter time, and I'm starving. I'm just going to go after someone and
mhm.
use my one berserker to get food. So that was interesting. It was a different way of approaching the way I normally play, but I couldn't be my usual turtle, That is,
Hmm.
I couldn't be defensive. I had to be offensive with this faction because you don't have enough units to be defensive with, and your defensive forts only get you so far, even when they're upgraded. So you really have to be offensive with this. So I liked it, but I'm more of an economic player. I like my turtles. I like my turrets. I like factions I can turtle with and outlast enemy. With this one, I can't do that. I
I
have.
feel.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Real quick, I feel like this one. Um, I feel like the developers created this faction in mind to have a different kind of victory. Maybe instead of a domination victory, there's all sorts of other victories, like a diplomatic one,
Mhm.
um, one where you have to um, raise up lore. So maybe this is a defensive sort of faction type
Mm,
of base.
maybe.
I mean, you can certainly wreck things, but you have to be a little bit micromanaging too, because you have to collect souls along the way and really protect your units. That's why I feel like this is a defensive type of faction
Okay,
where you
interesting.
have to.
I see that as a completely different like
Mhm.
my take on it is like if you can't be everywhere. So like you have
Yeah.
to like you've got to hit hard and then make sure that you're defended everywhere else while you're doing it. Like
Hmm.
that was my take on it, but that's interesting. Some of the technology they get is also unique. For example, Living Legends, you can have a brawler it says each animal soul defeated in a brawler arena reduces the cost of your next feast by 10%. So
Hmm.
like that's good for getting feasts. There's another one called Battle Scars. Decolonizing a zone, eliminating another clan or faction grants you military experience to all of your units in the zone. So that's a good one. There's another one that I liked called Heavy Workforce. Brawlers can be assigned to production buildings and they
Hmm.
produce 50% more than civilians and benefit from forged tools. So I think that's the route you were trying to go to see if it was worth it. Is that?
Yeah, it was tough. I don't think it was worth it, to be honest, because the when you merge two civilians to make one brawler, the population does not go down. I've noticed.
Hmm.
So you have to build more houses, and your people just get more miserable because the higher population that you have, the more breweries that you need to have to increase happiness, and it just gets a mess.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's just weird to me that when you kill one to turn into a super berserker or whatever, like having that whole population thing where it doesn't go back down to one again. I don't know if that's just representative of the fact that like they're always hungry because they're berserkers or something, but
Hmm.
like I don't know if it's for balance or what, but I think that's a huge oversight. Like I don't know if that was a bug or intended or what,
Yeah,
but
having a brawler count as two in population, I'm not fond of at all.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So overall, you enjoyed this DLC, is what I'm hearing.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
I really did. I really did. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Okay. I enjoyed it too. It's definitely a different one to look at. I love these DLCs. They always offer something unique. So
Hmm.
check it out. It has mixed reviews on Steam. So maybe check out some more gameplay videos before you pick it up or pick it up on a sale. This is Vincent Idley. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all next time. Take care.
Bye, guys.